What is wrong with these people? Oh my goodness. So many of you guys have asked me to check out the Hannah Payne story. And I knew the general gist of the story, this, little entitled girl who unfortunately took the life of this 65-year-old man. I got the concept of it. But upon doing a deeper dive into the story, bruh, this thing is wild. This thing is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Okay, let me tell you, because man, there is so much here. And I want you to understand that they didn't use race in the prosecution argumentation. They didn't use that. They didn't try to make it seem white versus black or any of that. This argument, even though, that's where I come involved, okay? Because I'm not making it racial. I'm just making an observation. It's as simple as that. Prosecution chose not to do that, primarily because she had a black boyfriend.
I think people are under the misconception that it was race. We never, ever brought race into this matter. As I told y'all when she was convicted the other night, that was too simple to say that it was black and white. And trying to figure out why. Only Hannah Payne knows why she did it. But the fact that the certain things that we knew she had an African-American boyfriend, So that automatically throws out, hate out there, race. She only knows why she did it. We've talked about class division. Bonnie and I were sitting there talking about maybe it's because of she was here and she thought he was there because of the truck and the condition of the truck.
Now, that is a spicy meatball. Let me just say this as a side note. Just because you have a black boyfriend doesn't preclude you from being racist, okay? I just want you to understand that. Because when people bring that up, well, I have a black friend. I'm sure you do, boo-boo. And you want to know who also had black people or around black people? Slave owners, okay? Just because the slave master slept with the black woman, do not confuse or conflate that as a relationship or any type of sentiment that has been changed and now, he cares about you. That's not what that was. That's not what that was at all. So in many cases, when you have these women with these men and vice versa, not always, mind you, I'm not saying that always. It's not a blanket statement. Calm down, all right? But in some cases, that is what it very much is. A slave with a slave master. Some cases, they like that relationship dynamic because they know in this country, as of right now, the hierarchy is that they have more power over your life. They have more power to control you if they want to wield it. Mind you, I'm not saying that's always the case, but when you speak to these individuals, right, in some cases, they're just mocking you. In other cases, it's a power dynamic. And in other cases, some sick fetish that they have. Moving forward into this story, because this story is a doozy, okay? When it comes to Hannah Payne, the gist of it, I'm going to give you the spark notes. She witnessed a car accident take place. And the elderly black man was, a little dazed, whatnot. And she took it upon herself to go after him because he leaves the scene of the crime. She chases after him. She calls 911, lets 911, hey, I'm going after this dude. All right, 911 tells her 4 times. That's correct. 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? To stop. Don't chase after him. This is dangerous. Don't do that. But
the defendant, even though the first accident really didn't have very little to do with her, has the audacity to get in her vehicle and chase him. The defendant is narrating what she's doing to the 911 operator, who of course, tells the defendant, ma'am, don't chase him. Because she tells that 911 operator, well, I'm not going to follow him. I don't know what he's going to do.
this woman happens to have a sidearm on her. So I always find it interesting that, when people, especially some of this, I'll just say some of these individuals, okay, when they have a sidearm on them, they get a little, little step, a little pep in the step, okay? The chest gets a little bigger. On any other occasion, they would be just, weak-minded, fragile individuals, just the low of the low. You see that in many officers. That's why they go into law enforcement, because they've been bullied or teased their entire life. And now that they got the badge on them, now they still haven't changed as far as their demeanor. You still scrawny. The only difference is now they have a gun and they can legally use it. 26, 25, I believe. She's going, told not to. She catches up to the guy, cuts him off. I kid you not. Cuts him off. Gets out of her car. Just all this. No. Now she's asked, hey, why did you do this? And she thought, and I couldn't believe it when I heard it. She said that she figured she was going to be a messenger.
When I stopped, I was under the impression, with me having 911 on the phone, that I could just be kind of like a messenger.
What?
I'm dead ass. She figured she was going to be the mediator between 911, who was on the phone, and this man who she was chasing. Upon her cutting him off, she goes to the vehicle, goes to him, tells him to get out of the car. Screams it, get out of the car.
Blocks him in. And all of this is narrated on a 911 call. And you will hear the defendant screaming, get out of the car! Get out of the car! And witnesses will tell you that she jumps out and is going straight to his driver's side.
Bruh, what is alleged is that there's some type of tussle. Okay, that's what's alleged. And upon this tussle, he hits a gas and he loses control and it hits her car because she's cut him off, right? Bam, hits her car. Now she's really livid. She's irate. Get the F out of the car. Get the F out of the car.
So she's jumping out screaming. And the witnesses will tell you that they observed her being the primary aggressor. But what happens is, because Mr. Herring is trying to defend himself, he moves his vehicle, or either his vehicle goes into gear, is already still in gear, and while he's trying to deal with the defendant at his door, his car moves forward. And once that happens, you'll hear an escalation in what she's saying. Get the fuck out of the car! Get the fuck out of the car! I will shoot you! I will shoot you!
One thing leads to another. She says, I kid you not, she says he pulled the trigger. I'm not making this up. That's her defense, is that he pulled the trigger and shot himself. Now I want to add the cherry on top of this stupid sundae. And it's not even that she said that he's the one that squeezed the trigger on himself, but she got his license plate.
Number two, she had already given law enforcement his tab number.
So she is now following this person for whatever reason. She's already relayed the license plate to dispatch. Already done that. She wasn't even in the accident. And then to have the argument of, hey, he's the one that squeezed the trigger is wild, bro. Absolutely bona fide cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. We then lead us to her being sentencing, which she all 8 counts found guilty.
So the court's total sentence is life with the possibility of parole plus 8 years consecutive on the false imprisonment and 5 years consecutive on the possession of firearm.
I think this is a great, what happened surprisingly in the legal system. I think it's great. I think it's unfortunate that a black man had to lose his life because of this. And the kicker on top of this is that this man was apparently going through diabetic shock. That's correct. He was going through diabetic shock. It wasn't that he was just trying to usurp the authorities, or the law. He was going through diabetic shock. That's what was going on. So, as I've already told you guys, as far as how they view law and order is for them to punish you. That's how they view law and order, okay? Because of the media, because of the propaganda, because of sometimes their hatred or the upbringing or their environment, that's how they view you. That's how they framed us as criminals, as the bad guy. So any charitable interpretation of what your actions may possibly could be thrown out the window. Thrown out the window. It's like, oh, you're trying to flee the scene because you're a criminal, and that's what? Despite her having a black boyfriend. That's what I would argue. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, Lucas, this had nothing to do with race, okay? What happened here was, you know, she was just trying to be a good Samaritan. That's what she was doing, okay? And the law punished her. That's unfortunate when he was a criminal. Or if you have to believe, I'm sure you view it that way. I'm 100% sure you view it that way. I just want to, you know, throw this out there. I wonder how many relationships are out there where she is using her person of color boyfriend or girlfriend as cover. I'm just curious. I wonder how many relationships out there exist, because they definitely exist. Definitely exist. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree, well, you're in luck, because today is Disagreement Day. It's typically held Friday through Sunday. There'll be a number on the screen. You call in, we duke it out. Either or, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think. Agree, disagree, indifferent. Feel free to share and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing.
That I could just be kind of like a messenger.